Hello and welcome to Discover Your Purpose TV. I'm Annette Piper, your host, and I'm CEO and founder of Vision to Reality Training. And let me ask you a question. This has come up a lot lately in my coaching sessions and when I talk to people about moving forward in their business and their life, and that is the art of self-sabotage. And I call that an art because most people are very good at it. They practice and practice and practice self-sabotage for years and years and years. And it's become an art form in their life. They keep recreating that over and over again. And they've learned how to paint those self-sabotaging pictures. And so what I want to talk about today is some ways that we sabotage ourselves and how we can move out of sabotage and how coaching can help facilitate that process. So first of all, one of the ways that we sabotage ourselves, and probably the number one barrier to your success, is procrastination. Now, procrastination is a tricky thing. We don't really understand why we put things off. We just know we do. And a couple of things about procrastination that are really interesting is when we procrastinate, we're looking more for instant gratification. We want things that are going to feel good right now to happen, or to do those activities that are not going to stretch us, that are not going to be uncomfortable. Because a lot of times what we are procrastinating on is something that might be a little bit uncomfortable or time consuming. And we want more immediate sense of gratification. So you have to ask yourself, what do you value more? Do you value short-term comfort, or do you value long-term results? And if you're not getting the results that you want, then chances are that you value short-term comfort versus long-term results. So if you think about an Olympic athlete, they push past their limits and they do what's going to get them long-term results rather than short-term comfort. So many of them sacrifice time hanging out with their friends after school because they're training, or they don't get a lot of sleep or as much sleep as they'd like because they're up at 4 a.m. training, but they're willing to do what's hard to get those long-term results, or what may seem a little bit uncomfortable to get long-term results, versus someone that has something that they need to do and they find all sorts of distractions to stop them from doing that, and they procrastinate. They walk past the pile of bills sitting there and they think, okay, I'll just do it later, and then they walk by it later. I'm going to go fix me a cup of coffee now. And then that pile of bills just sits there. And then they walk by it a little bit later, and there's that pile of bills just sitting there. And they, oh, I'll get to that in an hour. And I'm going to do this right now. I've got a phone call to make. I got to call my mom, or something like that. And so that pile of bills just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And not necessarily in the physical sense, but metaphorically, it keeps getting bigger. It keeps draining more energy from you. Remember that everything that you procrastinate on is sucking your energy, because you know that you need to be doing it, but you're not. And so it's a big energy drain. And so if you think about having 100 watts of energy to run on every day, and 50% of that is going to the things that you're procrastinating on. Hello, how much energy do you really have to run your business and run your life? It's limited. And I go deep into this process in my Get Your Head On Straight program, which is going to be coming up in June. So you want to make sure that you visit my website, www.AnnettePiper.com, and remember, spell Piper P-I-E, like the yummy dessert. Get your free download there, and that will put you on my newsletter list, and you'll get details on my Get Your Head On Straight program. Now, the Get Your Head On Straight program is really geared to do just that, help you get your head and your mind focused in the direction that you want to go. And procrastination and energy drains are some of the things that we work on in that program. Another thing that really sabotages people is that little teeny voice inside your head. I call it mini me, like Austin Powers and the little mini me. It also sounds like Minnie Mouse too, so it could be Minnie Mouse, but it's that voice, that incessant voice that holds us back, that we keep tripping over our thoughts over and over and over again, and they may not be the best thoughts that we're thinking. They may not be the best thoughts that are going to move us forward. So I teach something called the Mini-Me Management System, and I teach that in my Get Your Head On Straight class. And so you want to take advantage of that. We're also going to talk on the class about how to turn your successes or your failures into successes, not the other way around. We don't want to turn our successes into failures by any means. So we want to turn our failures into successes. And I teach you how to do that on the class. But one of the strategies that I really want to give you on procrastination is, like I said, to look at where your values are. Are your values on that short-term comfort? Or do you really want to focus on long-term results? Because if you want to focus on those long-term results, if that's really what you think you value, then you need some accountability. You need some assistance with that. And that's where the coaching process comes in. A coach can help you stay accountable to focus on that end result. A coach can also help you see your blind spots, and we all have them. I have to have coaches to help me see my blind spots because I can't see in their blind spots, right? It's like driving down the freeway and you're driving along and you decide to switch lanes and all of a sudden somebody's honking at you because they were in your blind spot and you didn't see them. And if they didn't honk or you weren't paying good enough attention, you're going to crash and burn. Same thing happens in our lives. Those blind spots can really trip us up. And so as a coach, I help you see those things that you can't see yourself. And sometimes they are things that you've seen yourself, but you just don't do anything about them. We can be aware that we need to change something in our lives, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to change them. Point of fact, look at how many people are obese. They know that they need to change something to change their situation. You know, as an example, as I went through my divorce, I went back to an old habit of mine from before I knew better, and that was drinking soda. Now, I knew that it wasn't good for me, yet I kept excusing, oh, it's helping me relieve my stress. It's kind of like a comfort food. But after 2.5 years of drinking that, it was like, this is not making me feel good. I don't feel good. I'm ready to quit. But guess what? I had to be committed. I had to make the decision to get to where I wanted to go, to get that end result. So we can know that we're doing things that hold us back, yet until we make a commitment and make a decision, it'll keep holding us back. Decision is so important. You can say you're committed, but until you decide that you're not going to let anything stand in your way of reaching that goal or getting rid of a habit that's holding you back or a limiting belief, then you're not that committed. You've got to make the decision to make the change. So once I made the decision to stop my soda habit, it was easy. Whenever I would crave a soda or think about, oh, you know what, I kind of feel like one today, I just tell myself, no, you've made a different decision. And I would just go on with what I was doing, and then I wouldn't think about it. But I would just remind myself, no, I made a different decision. And now I'm over 3 months without any soda, and I feel great. And so you've got to make that strong decision. You've got to be willing to make the commitment, decide to make the changes, and then make those changes. And again, accountability can help. I have a coach that also helps me and holds me accountable. I have several coaches, actually, because I have a coach for business. I have my marketing and social media mentors as well. Plus, I have some very strong accountability partners that are colleagues in business as well. So I could be your accountability partner. I would love to be your accountability partner. If you are ready to go to the next level, if you're ready to change those limiting habits, behaviors, and beliefs that are holding you back, then let me know. Send me an email. You can find my contact on my website. Also, I would invite you to go to my webpage, my website. There's a page on there for coaching. Go there, read about my coaching programs. Take the coachability quiz that's at the bottom of the page. And if you're interested in learning more, fill out the little form on my coaching page and send it in. And either myself or one of my team will get in touch with you and set up an appointment to meet with me for a little bit if it looks like you're going to be an ideal client for me. I would love to meet with you. I would love to see how that would work, how we could work together, and how I can help you shift and move forward in those areas that you feel stuck. This is Annette Piper signing off, reminding you to be amazing. And remember to visit my website at www.annettepiper.com, and that's PIE, just like the yummy dessert. Be amazing. Namaste.